All right, this evening we are welcoming back to the interview uh, Shawn Pryor. He is going to be launching another Kickstarter this Friday. Well, probably when you see this, it is Friday and the Kickstarter is going, so go support it. But anyway, it's called The Fire Within, and Shawn has this graciously just said he would come on and talk with us about it. So let me bring him in before my tongue gets in too more tied.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
and I know that Mike was supposed to join us, but he got hung up at work. So
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
another
Hey,
time, another time.
life is like that sometimes. Trust me. I trust me. I more than get it.
So the it's the Kickstarter is for The Fire Within, correct?
Yes, yes.
And it's already been it's available digitally, right? And this is for a print copy.
It was available digitally on my Gumroad page, and I took it down about 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. I took it down, and I've also revised it a little bit. I've revised the digital version, so as of right now, it's off of my Gumroad page, but the digital version will also be available
Mhm.
for sale, on the Kickstarter as well.
So before we talk a little bit about that, tell us about The Fire Within, the premise, because it seems just from the title that it's a very serious story that you wanted to tell.
Yeah, yeah. Like like there are many difficult things, to talk about, like in this world, and I know 2020 has just been, um, yeah, there are many words that could be used for 2020, but something that I feel that doesn't get talked about enough publicly is domestic violence
Hmm.
and the effects that domestic violence not only has on the spouse or significant other, but also children, and how it can affect or possibly damage a child, for who knows how long, without like the proper help or guidance. And so I wanted to. I was, how can I explain this? My good friend T. Franklin. She was the writer and creator of Bingo Love,
Hmm.
and she came to me because originally she's working on another series, and she said, "Hey," she was like, "Would you like to write a backup story about domestic violence?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah." I was like, because I was like, I've never written that kind of story before, and she said, "Well, I want you to dig deep,"
Hmm.
and she said, "I want you to put it all out here." She's like, "I know you're capable of telling a story that's strong, so go do it, go do it." I said, "Okay, okay, all right, cool. I was like, "I'll give it a go, give it a go." And so wrote the story. Got George Cambidays, who I've also worked with for fun on a Power Rangers comic called Power Rangers Total Eclipse, which is available on my Gumroad page. And but he did the artwork for the story, and so we turned it all in. I got Justin Birch to letter it. I got Justin Stewart to help with some digital assists and stuff, and turned it all in. And so the book that it was supposed to be in, unfortunately, didn't finish, which is fine because
Hmm.
publishing. This is publishing. Things happen. Things
Yeah.
happen. So still had a story here, and I looked at it and I just kept reading it, kept looking at it and looking at it. And I just said, you know what? I said, we can do something with this. And I looked at how it was laid out, because it was like a standard comic book story. And I said, you know what? I said, for a topic like this, we need to break it down even further. And it's going to, if we break it down even further and start to separate these images further and turn it into a storybook, I feel it's going to hold more emotional value than just a standard comic book story. So I reformatted it from a 4 or 5 page comic into a 20 something page storybook. And so the story ended up being stronger that way ended up being more effective. It ended up, carrying more emotional weight and value. And I was also able to provide domestic violence statistics at the end of the story as well, and an explanation as to why the lead character, Andre, the story focuses on a young boy by the name of Andre, whose mother is a victim of domestic violence from a second marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And, he feels the effects of that. And it pains him deeply because, that he's just a kid, but he knows what's going on. He feels helpless and he wants to help, but he doesn't know how to help. And when he wants to talk to his mom about it to see if his mom's okay, he knows she's not okay. He knows she's not okay, but she just brushes it off just to protect him. It's like, no, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. Just to protect him and his feelings. But that just makes him feel even worse because he feels he can't help.
Right.
Because he feels the brunt of that pain too. And so, you have a child that sees the damage, that sees the pain, that sees the hurt, that sees the anger, and, doesn't know what to do. And finally, I don't want to give it away, but he does take action. But once again, it's one of those things where should a child have had to take that action? Should a child, and this is like this is one of the many effects of like domestic violence, where you have children that end up growing up a little bit faster than they should, or trying to take on responsibilities that they're honestly not emotionally ready to handle. They shouldn't have to handle.
Right.
And I just kind of wanted to like talk about those things, and I wanted to make a hardcover, like an 8x5-inch square hardcover. So it's like a nice storybook, and it's printed here in the United States and whatnot. And put a storybook out there, and I just wanted to make sure it got in people's hands and just show them the power of the story, and hopefully get people to be more aware of, or at least be strong enough to start conversations about domestic violence and how we could possibly, hopefully, try to put a stop to it, or at least try to get help for those that have suffered from it.
Definitely. So when you were putting the story together, did you do research, or if it's too personal, are you pulling from personal experiences or stories that you've heard about, or
column A, column B, column C all together?
Okay.
So in all sincerity, I won't go into my personal life.
No, you don't need to.
but no, there was, I definitely did do additional research into studying the effects of domestic violence on children, reading cases and stories and whatnot, and also talking to friends and loved ones who may have also who have dealt with domestic violence, and some of them didn't even know until later on that the relationships that they were in were very toxic, very violent, and then finally understanding that they had to leave, and in some situations they couldn't leave. Right. For the longest time, because that person they were with was just so dangerous that they had to find the right situation to get them out of there to keep them safe from harm. So it's like I said, it's heavy, and it's like I said, it's a 20 overall it's a 28-page storybook, and so but it's a storybook with because some people say, oh, this is a comic, and some people are like, no, this is a storybook. I just call it a storybook, even though it has fantastic art from George Cambides, who's done a lot of work in comics. And when you see it on Kickstarter, it will be filed in the comics section. But it's a very special story, and it's a little bit different, and it's a different way of looking at sequential storytelling as well. And I just think the way it's laid out is much more powerful in this sense than it is in the standard comic format.
I was going to say, this seems totally different from, the stuff you've done previously, like Ignition or cash and carry. So the stuff you did with Action Lab. Another deep cut. Mercury in the Murd.
Oh yeah. Mercury and Bird. Now you talking like that was like old. That's like PKD Media. That was like my first like hand at self publishing. That was like early self publishing. Like I had no idea what I was doing self publishing. I burned through all this money self publishing. Got myself in a lot of trouble self publishing. Thought I was doing something self publishing. No, but no, like doing stuff like in my career now it's like 13 years like the early stuff in 2000 from 2007 to 2009, you know, buddy cop stuff, Mercury in the Murd, my special take on G.I. Joe, Agents of Colt, you know, like, and all that stuff I am proud of. You know, I'm proud of, and it took my friend Martheus Wade to explain that to me. Like this is probably like about 5 years ago. And like, you know, he still had a couple of the books, and he just like texted me this picture. And I was like, man, I didn't know anybody still had any of those. And he was like, hey man, he was like, hey, don't discount and discredit your work. He's like, yeah. He was like, you've grown a lot since then. He was like, but this stuff is still published. It still has value. And you did that. And you did that with like little to no training. And you just learned yourself, you know, by yourself how to do that, and got help from other friends within, like, you know, the comics community at that time, the publishing community at that time. And you did it. He's like, no, be proud of that, because without that, you wouldn't be here. So, and he's right. And he's right. So yeah, I'm proud of that stuff.
And that kind of addresses one of the questions I was kind of thinking of. What would you tell, you know, your past self, knowing what you know now, but you kind of just went over that?
A little bit. The other thing I would have told him, hey, don't spend so much money. Don't spend so much money. Like early in my self-publishing career, you always have that feeling, that the sense of confidence and feeling that, oh man, I'll make all this back. I'll make all this back. Oh yeah, every last bit of it. I'll make it all back. And then you really look at the reality of it years later, and it's just like, you spent how much? We did what? We lost how much? Yeah. You know, like this is before Kickstarter, and this is, you know, or like crowdfunding and whatnot. And I'm just like, I cannot believe I spent that much money on Are you serious? Like for real? Like I looked at, like, I found some old printing receipts for printing comics and and whatnot. I'm not talking about like, you know, like pay rates and paying people, because like a lot of the books that we did back then, like Mercury and the Murd or like Agents of Colt, so a lot of that was just done like because we were just all having fun, right, and creating stuff. And like, I mean, like times like you had to pay for a cover, oh, get somebody to do this, okay, throw some money over there. But when you start to throw in like hundreds of dollars for like table fees at shows, and like hundreds of dollars for hotel fees, and hundreds of dollars for travel fees, and you're like, yo, I got like 25 copies of a $5 book and like 20 copies of another like maybe $6 book. We ain't making this money back, fam. We're not making this money back. Like we're basically making book money back and maybe some food money. Like that's it. And that's if they sell. You know what I mean? And so like it's a lot of the stuff, because so much of the technology has been democratized. You know, so things are less expensive to make now than they were back then. And that's the other thing I probably would have told myself back then. It's like, hey, just do more digital stuff. You know, just do more digital stuff. Yes, the digital world was like a completely different place 13 years ago, and 13 years ago is not that long ago. It's not like it's not. Like literally, that's yesterday. And like in like 2020 has been like 5 years long, but like 13 years ago, it was not that long ago. You know, and so I would have told myself, hey, just do more digital stuff, and you know, and whatnot, and just take your time. And that was the other thing. Like, I really feel that like for as much of the fun that I had, I didn't take my time, because I just felt that, okay, I do this to go to here, I do this to go to there, I do this to go to here, and then by then I'll be where I'm supposed to be. And it didn't work that way.
Oh yeah, you were always hustling.
Yes, Yes, and sometimes to my own detriment. So yeah, but like that was just that's just how it was built, and
Hmm.
can't stop, won't stop. I
Yep.
was like, we gotta keep going until I had to stop. Until I had to stop. Um, so yeah, like I would have, I just probably would have told younger me 13 years ago, just slow down a bit, take your time, and it's fine to help others, but remember to take time out to help yourself. Because like I said, there was that gap where I didn't write or create anything for like,
Hmm.
about 5 years,
Hmm.
4 or 5 years. And I was just like, like a comic book executive and just like waiting in these waters and becoming even more invisible in a business that's just, in an industry that's just awful to Black people and people of color. So, and it really just like creatively and like personally, like I just felt like I couldn't do it. I just was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
2015 came around, cash and carry came around, say, and like it, it just brought energy back into my life, and it changed my life and whatnot. So, I'm thankful for that. Very thankful, but yeah, spend less money back then, spend less money because trust me, all the receipts. Oh, I looked at all of them. It was so ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. But hey, hey,
You
but the
live
thing
and you
is,
learn.
yeah, you live and you learn. You're right. You're absolutely right. And I learned a lot.
So, what are some of the rewards level that you'll be offering for the Kickstarter?
Okay. This Kickstarter is running very lean. And what I mean by that is that the goal for it is $2,800. And right now there are 4 tiers, and those 4 tiers are there's a digital tier for $5.
Hmm.
And in that digital tier, you get the PDF copy of The Fire Within. You also get, digital wallpaper. So just, basic,
Hmm.
$5 PDF, boop, there you go. High resolution PDF, there you go. And then for $20, it's the hardcover bundle where you'll get the printed hardcover, like I said, it's 8 by 5 inch square. So it'll be nice size, a nice size hardcover,
Hmm.
along with a bookmark, a mini poster, um, and also digital wallpaper and the PDF copy. You get all that for $20. So, which is a really good deal, which
Hmm.
was a
Yeah.
really good deal because the thing is that this hardcover is being printed is a small print run. It's a very small print run. So, like I said, getting it printed in the States, so it won't take as long, hopefully, to show up at my doorstep, so I can send out the rewards and whatnot. Then after that, there's a $25 super digital bundle edition, which has a PDF copy of The Fire Within, and it also has PDFs of Cash and Carry Book 1, Cash and Carry Book 2, the Glyph nominated, or 2019 Glyph nominated Force Volume 1, Lifted of Gods and Thieves, Kentucky Kaiju, and Exo 1, the Rock Solid Steelbox. Like, just yeah, all the value for $25. And then for,
The Shawn Pryor career extravaganza.
yes, yes, yeah, like it's pretty much like everything I've almost done except like some capstone stuff from Capstone and for Capstone Kids. But and there'll also be some other digital goodies in there too,
Hmm.
that I'm just saving for later. And then there's the $40 bundle, which is the hardcover, everything that comes with the hardcover, the mini poster, the bookmark, the PDF, the digital wallpaper, and all those digital comics, all those digital volumes, or digital trades, as it were. All those for $40. So yeah, so like I said, it's running real lean. I
Hmm.
didn't want to do a ton of tiers with this one. I wanted to make it real succinct, very easy, and it's just you pick a tier and you go. That's it. That's all. So I'm hoping people dig it. I hope people make a choice and make it click. Because hey, right now money's tough, money's tight. I get
Yep.
it. And that's another reason why I also wanted to keep the goal low.
Hmm.
Because I want this to work. I do.
Right.
I want this to work, but I also want to make it affordable for people too. Like I can't be out here charging like $15 for like a 28-page PDF. I can't be doing
Yeah.
that. I can't have y'all mad at me. You know, like what are you doing?
I'd never be mad at you.
You know, I just can't. I guess I can't have that on my heart. So
Yeah.
it's just like, let's make this as affordable as possible, and hopefully, get enough backers, to make it happen. I always joke. I'm like, hey, if 600 people want to just get the PDF, you've done me a solid.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've done me wonders. But because with the PDFs, it's like, oh hey, or here's some links. Bloop. All right, here I
Yep.
go. So I'll take that too. I will take that too. But no, I really just want to get this story in the hands of more people. And I just want people to be aware of, like I said, the issues of domestic violence, and I just hope that this story is able to get that across to people.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that I do.
Well, I didn't get to read it before you took it down off your website.
I'll send you a copy. I'll send you I'll send you a brand new PDF. I apologize. I meant to do that before we recorded, and I was busy fixing replacing an air intake hose, for my
That's fine.
fiance's car, and so like that took a little bit longer than I expected, and so man, YouTube, you learn so much on YouTube. It is incredible. Like once you like block out like all like the bad stuff,
Like
you
this show.
hey, no. We need people to watch this show. We need people to watch
True.
this show. This is good content. This is good content. So, so yeah, I had to learn how to replace an air intake hose today, and so
Hey.
that was, whew, yes,
Better than having to pay somebody to do it.
true, but there were a lot of cuss words that came out of my mouth today while we're trying to replace that air intake hose, because like they never tell they just the video will tell you, oh, you just do this and you just do this,
Yeah.
but they never tell you, oh, hey, your previous air intake hose has probably been in here for like about, I don't know, 10 years. So all these connections are gonna be pretty tight, so you're gonna have to pull. And when I mean pull, now don't pull too hard because you're gonna break something. So, but you gotta pull hard though, not that hard. Just a little. No, they will tell you. It's like, I just do this, I just do this, I just do this, and then I just do this.
Pop,
Like,
snap.
right. And I'm just like, come on, man, you did that already. This is oh, you did that already. That's why it was so easy for you.
They probably edited, everything together, and
They finish it off with like some J.J. Abrams like lens flare. And I'm just like, yo, man, it's just an air intake hose, fam. I don't need this lens flare. What are you doing? Just tell me how I'm properly supposed to do this. So, but no, I'll send you. After this recording, I'll combine the pages and put a PDF together, and I'll send it to you.
So, are you working on anything else, or you kind of just focusing on this right now?
I'm always busy, too busy. And right now, like I'm about to start. I have a literary agent now, so I have representation, which is amazing. And this is 2020 has been trash, but like getting a literary agent this year has been incredible. And so right now we're working on trying to get a pitch to a couple publishers right now for a middle grade middle readers graphic novel series. And so right now that's like the priority. But I'm also trying to work on some YA and middle grade prose stories. Probably be doing like a little bit more work for Capstone in the next couple of months. Some projects for them. There will be another Kickstarter in October for Ignition issue 2. Because like right now I'm in the process of fulfilling Ignition, the rewards for Ignition issue 1, just waiting on books to arrive. And but we all know that issue about like the mailing stuff right now and the United States Postal Service and how fun that is. Ooh, okay. So waiting on that stuff to arrive so I can start sending that stuff off. But like the Ignition volume 2 Kickstarter will be sometime in August. Not volume 2, issue 2. To fund production costs for issue 2. And then that will be like the last Kickstarter for the year. because that'll be 3 this year, and Sean is tired. And and from there, I would just continue to work on projects, and also like next year there should probably be like four or five, maybe 3 or 4 books from Capstone that I've written this year that will be out next year. So there's that too, and I just staying busy and making sure that the fiance is good, and the dogs are taken care of, and and that they don't poop in the house. So
Yeah. Are you reading anything? Have you read anything since we last talked 4 months? Can you believe it's been 4 months ago? It seems a lot longer.
yeah, because 2020 is taking 20 years. Like it's that long. Every day is something new. It's too much. It is too much for the human soul, or any soul, non-soul. Like it doesn't. It's too much for anyone. It's too much. Anyway, sorry. I actually have been doing research for a YA project, and I started reading this book about the design and history of stormtroopers from Star Wars. And so like I've been really fascinated with like science fiction designs like the last like couple of months. And so in trying to like put together a sci-fi YA prose project. And so like I started looking at like, there's this book literally just called Stormtrooper, and it's like the history guide of designs and types of stormtroopers and whatnot. And like it's weird and it's fascinating at the same time. And I've also been there's an artist by the name of Chris Foss. He used to do he still does like a lot of these beautiful like wild elaborate sci-fi spaceship type artwork. His artwork was featured in the Jodorowsky's Dune documentary, which is a really good documentary, although Jodorowsky's got some issues. Anyway, but it's a wild documentary. But like Chris Foss did some artwork for Jodorowsky's version of Dune that was supposed to happen back in the 70s. That never happened. And but like he has an art book. It's the art of Chris Foss, and like the way he paints starships and the galaxy is like something I've never seen. It's just like it's mind blowing, and it defies your conventional science fiction. I did reread Box Brown's story about Tetris. Have you ever read that one?
No.
Oh, it's great. Like Box Brown, I want to say it was Box Brown. Yeah, I think it was Box Brown. Yeah, Box Brown did a graphic novel about the history of Tetris and how it came to be and how it started in Russia in like this like work, this technology, tech workshop. And like it was just done for fun that people would just play it on breaks, and how a game that was supposed to be hidden and just played during like lunch breaks, or not even really at all, how it found a way to America, and then like the legal software battle of ownership or who had distribution rights for it. It's such like a wild story, and like and you also kind of get like this little side history of, oh, this is how Nintendo started, and this is like kind of like the side history of Nintendo at the same time in it as well. And all the software publishers that tried to like get Tetris, and like the ones that thought they had it, and the other ones that's like, yeah, we got it, so we're going to make this, we're going to publish this. And this other one's like, no, we got it, so we're going to publish it. Because people forget there were 2 versions of Tetris for Nintendo. Tengen, which was a division of Atari, they had a copy of Tetris before they had a lawsuit against them from Nintendo because like they backward processed a computer chip to make their cartridges, because this was during like the chip shortage era of the Nintendo, the NES. During the NES boom, there was a chip shortage era, and also Nintendo was kind of like, how can I say this? Not rigging the game, but they were making it difficult for software publishers to like put out games through them. And so like they got in trouble. Atari got in trouble with Nintendo. Nintendo sued them, and then Tengen like was short lived. I think they put out like close to 20 games, and then they were just gone. They were just gone. They put out some stuff for Sega Genesis too. But like they had a version of Tetris, and then Nintendo had a version of Tetris. and then the Tengen version was gone, and then there was just the Nintendo version, and that was it. So yeah, it's a great book. It is a fantastic book. I forget like the actual full name of it, but it's literally it's like a history of Tetris in graphic novel form, and like I was just captivated by it. I thought it was really cool. It was really
Definitely
cool.
have to check that out.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, I need to read more. I know I
Yeah.
do, but sometimes you just stay so busy, and then like you're trying to create your own worlds and stuff like that at the same time. Like my
Yep.
fiance gets on me all the time. She's like, you could just read a chapter before you go to bed. And I'm like, I could, I could, I should, but pillow though,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
YouTube videos. Oh look, video
Yeah.
games. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so I need to get back into just reading more, like, and not just for research, just reading to just read,
Right.
and I plan on doing that, hopefully. See, like there's all these books back here, and there's like books everywhere, and so like you're just getting like an abridged view of the room. I'm not showing you the documents behind me, but like all these books over there, like I need to read. I think I may have read 10% of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can never have enough books or DVDs or video games or oh yeah, yeah.
Okay. As we sign off, how about we do one last pitch for the Kickstarter?
Yeah, sure. You'll be able to check out The Fire Within on Friday, August the 21st at 12 p.m. That's when it's going to launch. You can go to thefirewithinstory.com and it will take you straight to the Kickstarter page for The Fire Within. So you can take a look at the project, play the video, and and pledge towards the project. Is a story about a young child by the name of Andre and the pain and terror that he goes through as he witnesses his mother, deal with domestic violence, and how all this also affects him and how helpless he feels amidst all this pain and trauma and toxicity that he sees and hears. And so it's a story, like I said, it's close to my heart because I really feel that we all need to talk about domestic violence. All of us, all races and creeds, colors, like we need to talk about domestic violence and how it affects children. And so like I said, it's a very important story. It's going to be a 28-page hardcover. That's what the Kickstarter's for. We're trying to raise $2,800 in 30 days, and we have 4 tiers. They're all very affordable. So I hope that that you check out The Fire Within and support our project. And if you can't support it with your money, that's fine, because I know a lot of us are broke. It's hard times. Everything's jacked up, and I get that. But if you see me out here on the internets and you see me on the social medias, if you want to just share a post or whatnot, that's great too. So, like I said, like there are all different types of ways to make this happen, and I appreciate y'all, and thank you.
And where can they find you on the social medias?
Oh yeah, everywhere. So the main two places, actually three, 2 places to see me. One, Twitter.com, at Shawn SHAWN R Pryor, PRYOR, at Shawn R Pryor on Twitter. On Instagram, it's at the Shawn P Show, SHAWNP SHOW. And also have a Patreon. Actually, I need to start putting some more updates on there because just life is crazy. Life is just wild. But Patreon.com/Shawn Pryor, and I have all types of tiers. Do blog posts and videos, and sometimes podcasts and comics and writings and nonsense, and it's all there. And so I think like also this week or this weekend, I'll be making a post on the Patreon about the very first paid writing gig I ever got in 2001. And it's not what you think it is, but it's it's a lot. So that's all I'm going to say. It's a lot, but it was quite fun.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us and telling us about this exciting new Kickstarter. wish you luck.
Thank you, Ken. I
Uh,
appreciate
always enjoy the stuff that you do put out. Always look forward to your new stuff.
it. Well, thank you.
And when you're ready to kickstart Ignition number 2, you're more than welcome back.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll come on back. Trust me, and I'll come on back. And hopefully by then this actual office will be entirely clean because, yeah. But no, Chad. Seriously, thank you for your time. I do
Mhm.
appreciate it a lot.
And I'll include the links to everything in the show notes.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, take care of yourself and continue to stay healthy and
Yes, you
uh,
too.
enjoy those auto mechanic videos on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a break. Stuff hurt my hand, so we ain't doing that for a while. But I appreciate that.
All right. Well, let us know how it goes, and we'll definitely be in touch.
All right, sounds wonderful. You take care now.
All right. You too.
All right.
Bye.